What's up, guys? It's Jason from Team Parrot Dragon here, bringing you a deck profile on a new deck straight out of Duelist Alliance, and that being Satellarknights. Anyway, I wasn't able to get everything I needed for the deck at the sneak, so I'm proxying just a couple cards. But this is the build I feel like will be the best in the TCG since we don't have the Star Seraph exclusives. And also the Heroic Challenger guy, which I'm not a fan of the Star Seraph build anyway, but that's a different story. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get the deck profile started. We play 3 Satellarknight Denebs. Deneb's your main searcher of the deck. He lets you grab any Satellarknight when he's summoned. It doesn't matter if he's normal, special, flip summon, doesn't matter. And that's what's great about him, because you can pair him with Satellarknight Altair, which when he's summoned, you get to special summon a Satellarknight Engrave in face-up defense position, but the only Satellarknights can attack. So basically what you do, you can summon this guy and special this guy. Deneb will let you get a search off, and plus you can make a rank 4 exceeds. So like you can plus mad with these guys. So you definitely want to max out on both of them. Play 3 copies of Satellarknight Unuk. I feel like you should play all 3 of Unuk just because he adds consistency. You can deck thin with him. When he's summoned, you get to dump any Satellarknight card from your deck to your grave. Most of the time, you're going to end up dumping a Deneb just so you can like Altair into it or Call the Haunted. I'm only playing 2 copies of Satellarknight Vega. I feel like Vega creates awkward hands, so you kind of only want to play 2 of it. And if you don't know what it does, when it's summoned, you can special summon a Satellarknight from your hand. He's kind of like a caster, Evil Storm caster. And finally, for the last Satellarknight monster, we play 1 Alsam. A lot of people don't play this, but you need to up your Satellarknight monster count if you're playing pure. So this guy's good at 1. Like, you don't really want to draw him, but normally you can dump him off Unuk, so that's not a problem. And this guy actually has some utility too, just because like if he's in grave, and you can get your opponent down to like a low life, you can summon this guy several times and just like end up burning your opponent to death. Like if your opponent's at 1800 life, you can summon Altair, special summon the Alsam, burn him for 1000, and then make Cowboy and burn him for another 800. So like 1800 becomes Cowboy range at this point, which is pretty good. For the non-Satellarknight monsters, we're playing Triple Photon Thrasher. We don't have Heroic Challenger Assault Halberd, I think is his name, which he's better than this card. He's like a Cyber Dragon, and when he does piercing, you get to add another copy of himself from your deck to your hand. But Photon Thrasher, he's good too, and 2100 is like a sizable beat stick, so like he can do things on his own, which is good. Plus, he's a light warrior, so he synergizes with everything really well. And then, of course, the 1 copy of Honest, because they're all lights. Honest is just a great card. It catches people off guard, and you win battles you shouldn't. I'm playing 2 copies of Satellarknight Skybridge. I end up using this card like a lance, and if you don't know what it does, you can target a Satellarknight on field and special a different one from deck, and then return the one you targeted to the deck. So you can use it to like dodge Bottomless Trap Hole. Like, let's say you summon Unuk and they bottomless, you can chain Skybridge and special summon, like, Altair. Unuk dumps one from deck to grave, his effect resolves, and then you get Altair's effect and you can special the one you sent with Unuk. Like, it's just, it combos really well and it fixes awkward hands. 2 copies of Rhoda for consistency. This card's great. It lets you search your Deneb, which will let you search yet another monster, so it's just really convenient. 2 copies of Chalice. This is meta call for Shaddolls, which I feel like are going to be super big. You can Chalice their Midrash and then go off. Only 2 copies of Soul Charge. We don't have number 86, the Heroic Champion Rongo Myont. So I feel like Soul Charge isn't quite as useful because like there's no point when you're going to want a Soul Charge for 5 at this point. So I feel like 2 is good because you don't want it to clog. You never want to see like several of this card at the beginning of the game because it'll just be dead. I play 2 Mystical Space Typhoons just to hit like Floodgates, like Light Mirror, Skill Drain. You can hit like Shaddol's Emptiness, Vanity's Emptiness, because that just straight up kills this deck. And plus you can hit their like Sinister Shadow Games during the end phase, just things like that. I play the 1 Book of Moon because this card's like insanely good. For the traps, I play 3 Call the Haunteds. This deck abuses this card so bad. Like if, let's say you have an Altair and a Deneb Engrave, which is standard, you'll have that most of the time. In phase, you can call the Haunted your Altair, special summon your Deneb. Deneb will get its effect. And you could search, let's say, another Altair. You can summon it, special summon another monster from grave, and there you go. You got 4 materials, just like that. And if you already had a Vega in hand after this play right here, you could immediately go, let's see, you could go Vega, Altair, special Unuk, and then Unuk effect to dump, let's say, All Sam, because you don't want to draw it. You could immediately make a rank, 2 rank 4s, one with 3 materials and one with 2 materials, just like off of Call the Haunted, because it synergizes so well with everything. Next, I'm playing 2 copies of Stellar Nova Alpha. Some people are iffy on this card, but it needs to be played. Once I was only able to get 1 at my sneak because there's only 1 pulled. You know, I feel like this card should definitely be played because it's great disruption. It's a 2-for-2 Solemn Judgment. Like it's really good. I don't see why people don't play it more. Just because like if you stop a Shaddoll fusion, like you're in really good shape, and it helps you make your Altair live. Like if you only open Deneb, you go summon to your Deneb and search your Altair. You can use your Stellar Nova Alpha to tribute it off to make the Altair live, and plus you get your draw. So I feel like it's worth it. 2 copies of Fiendish Chain. This is interchangeable with Breakthrough skill, but I like Fiendish Chain better. It's just personal preference. 2 Deep Prisons. This is because hands are still going to be a thing, and plus you can hit their like Midrashes and Nephilim. I don't know what the TCG names are. I'll still play the Compulse, Bottomless, and Torrential, of course, your Summon Response Traps, and then for the 40th card, the Warning. Warning's just too good. If you open like Deneb, 4 back row, and one of them's a Warning and a Stellar Nova Alpha, you've won that game. For the extra deck, I'm playing like this could change. I decided to go like with a wider variety, just so I'd have more answers. I'm playing 2 Satellarknight Deltaros. Once again, I was only able to get 1. But this card is like your go-to Xyz. He takes 3 materials. If you don't know what he does, when he's on the field, your opponent can't activate things in response to your summons. So, and that includes himself. So, like when you Xyz into him, your opponent can't bottomless him and things like that. His second effect is you can detach a material to pop a card on the field. And that's any card, back row, monster, whatever. And if this card is sent from the field to the grave, you can special summon a Satellarknight from your deck or hand. So you could special summon, let's say, an Altair from deck, which normally you would use to make him. You special your Altair, hit your Deneb again, get a search, add something else. It's just promotes insane plussing, which is this deck really excels at making plussing with monster effects. I play Rhapsody and Berserk. This card just wins matchups straight up. Like Lightsworn become relatively easy to beat with this, just because you can banish their names. Gaga Cowboy for the finisher. Abyss Dweller for like water, water Bujins, you know, things like that. Bujinte Tsukiyomi. This card's good. I found when you open like Photon Thrasher and like Unuk, you could like Thrasher, Unuk, set some back row, and find a card you don't want, discard it to draw 2, and the next turn discard another one to draw 2. It's just it's a good play. Like you won't use it that often, but you'll want it when you can. Play the one Roach. Roach is good, but just because you can use it against like Lightsworn, like once again, because like this deck would have trouble with dropping multiple JDs in one turn, and Roach can make that more survivable. Evil Swarm Exciton Knight, don't have one at the moment. I'm getting one soon, of course. Anyway, next, double Castel the Avian Skyblaster. This card is insanely good, and I found myself needing 2 all the time, so I decided to play both of them. If this is a new card also out of Duelist Alliance, and if you don't know what it does, its effect is you can detach a material and flip a monster on the field face down, which is kind of like Maestroke, which this card makes Maestroke obsolete in my opinion. And he has another effect. You can detach both materials to shuffle a face-up card on the field into your opponent's deck. Now, I found this useful like when your opponent stacks with a Volval Chain, like if you're playing against Infernities or something like that. You can get that off of the top of their deck. Not only that, but it hits cards that can't be destroyed. This card, like, it's kills 101 and just things like that. It's very useful, and I really did like it too. 1 copy of Excalibur. You would think I would have an Excalibur laying around. I have thousands of cards at my house, but I don't. So Excalibur, it's better than Blade Armor Ninja because you don't have trouble clearing fields. You do have trouble getting over giant monsters sometimes. Uh, Black Ship of Corn. This is mainly an out to the hands because I still feel like the hands are going to be a thing, unfortunately. Number 101 Silent Honor Arc. I have one, but my friend has it, so yeah, I'm just going to proxy it just so I can do this deck profile. And then number 103 Ragna Zero. Ragna Zero is an amazing, amazing card. Just it completely kills the Fire Fist matchup. It really hurts the Madolche matchup. This card should definitely be played. Just a quick note about this deck. If you're gonna play this, you're gonna need a side deck. Like you can side deck tons of Floodgates, which is great. You can side your Shadow Mirrors, which is fantastic because they just straight up win the Shadal matchup. And this deck, it doesn't die to very many things. Like Light Mirror hurts it, but like it's not the end all be all. Just because like heck, you can just summon Thrasher and beat with it, and it's super super consistent. Whereas like Lightsworn, it's a very powerful deck, but it bricks really hard. This deck never bricks. You'll always have access to like a Deneb or something, which will give you access to everything. The deck very rarely bricks like that. So I think this deck is a legitimate tier 1 contender next format. Well, technically this format, I guess, but there aren't many events this format. But I really feel like this deck could go toe-to-toe with Shadal's and Hat or whatever ends up staying tier 1. I don't think Hat will. But, I mean, I guess anything's possible. I don't know everything about the game. Satellarknights, look out for them. They will be at your regionals. Yeah, that's about all there is to it. The main point of the deck, spam level 4s, make a whole bunch of Xyz. Delta Rose clears the board, and these guys are amazing. This has been Jason from Team Parrot Dragon. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up and a subscribe. And I'll try and have another deck profile up later. See you guys.